G'day legends, I am a stills photographer, but I do a little bit of video, and I got a question the other day from a young lad who does video footage, and he wants to do slow-mo, and he sent me an example of what he liked to do. It was buttery smooth slow motion, and then his slow motion was a bit choppy. So he found out that he is probably shooting in the wrong setting. So it's important to set it up to shoot in slow motion. So in this instance, he's using the same camera as me, which is a Canon R5. So if it's shot at 25 frames per second and you try and slow it down in post, it will get choppy and won't be a very good slow motion at all. What you need to do is shoot at 50 frames per second and shoot at 4K or shoot at 1080p. Either way is fine, but the key is to make it 50 frames a second, not 25 frames a second. Okay, so another important factor when you are setting up your camera is to have a shutter speed that is double your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 25 frames a second, I shoot at 1/50 of a second. So I'm suggesting for slow-mo that you go to 50 frames a second. This means you double your shutter speed from your frame rate, which takes it to 1/100th of a second. So make sure that you're shooting your surfing footage at 1/100th of a second, and this will give you a more smooth, clear video. And then in post, you go into a program like Premiere Pro, and before you drag that raw clip into the timeline, you go into right-click, modify, interpret footage, and then you will see that it was taken in 50 frames a second. You've just got to tick the box that says, assume it went at 25 frames a second. That will slow your footage or increase the length of your footage by double, and hence slowing it down by half. So if you keep shooting at, then if your camera can shoot at 120 frames a second or 200 frames a second, and then you drag it back to 25 frames a second, it just gets longer and longer or slower and slower motion. So with the R5s, you're going to shoot at 50 frames a second at the 4K mark. But for instance, with a GoPro, you can go 120 and even 240 frames a second, depending on the resolution that you select. So with GoPro footage, you'll be able to slow it down a lot more, but I find that half slowed down footage works pretty well off the R5. So that's a basic and quick tip on how to get your slow motion so it's not looking choppy. It's getting back to buttery smooth and the quality's there.